even in Detroit, I was still producing house music and hip hop on the side, just hip hop for fun. So when I was in New York, I'm like, when I wasn't making a house track, I was making a hip hop track. And then at a certain point, I started working with Quincy Jones, and then that's when.
I mean, goddamn, 7.
Got it. Yes.
Yeah. MK is without a doubt one of the most in-demand producers in the business, with over 500 production credits to his name. After nearly 30 years of producing and remixing for everyone from Rhianna and Pitbull to Diplo and Clean Bandit, he's finally ready to release an LP all his own. Reckless here in Miami. It is Miami Music Week. It's Friday. Hanging out with MK. What's happening, Mark?
What's up, dude?
Are you burnt out yet?
Not yet.
Not yet?
I'm gonna try to be.
You played a monster party last night, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because Diplo played a really unexpected set, opening up for you.
Yeah, well, it's like, that's my homie, you know. So it's like, we were working on music a couple weeks ago, and we were like, hey, do you want to play my party? And he's like, yeah, do you want to play my party? So it was as simple as that. It was no overthought, just like, you know,
like it
just
used
having
to be.
fun. Yeah, just having fun, not trying to like reinvent the wheel. It's like, just have fun.
You got my homies tomorrow, Walker and Royce.
Yeah, dude, I love them.
So
I love
good.
them. Yeah,
so good.
Them. Yeah, they're amazing.
So, your career kind of blows my mind. Okay.
Okay.
And I don't know. I want to go kind of way back.
Okay.
To Detroit. The guys that mentored you.
Yeah.
Like Juan Atkins.
Yeah.
I mean,
Derek May, Kevin Saunderson. Yeah. Carl Craig. Yeah.
Like, take me back there, man. What was that like?
Dude, like, I didn't appreciate it back then because, like, I was, like, 18, just in there. I was like, okay, what is this? But looking back now, it's really dope because, like, everyone was an innovator. Everyone did their own thing. There was no internet.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really tell you didn't know what other people in the world thought. You just kind of saw what you see in front of you and take it from there, which is kind of sad because you don't do that anymore. You can't get it. It's just amazing, dude.
I guess you have to have the perspective to really appreciate it.
There's no way to really get it now, but yeah, it's crazy.
We were talking to DJ Pierre earlier, and he said something, and I'd never thought of it this way. He was talking about the scene in Chicago.
Yeah.
And he's like, we thought
same thing.
That's all there was of house music.
Yeah, it's the same thing from Detroit. But it's like, you know, like Mike Hitman Wilson, Steve So Curly from Chicago, Maurice Joshua. So it was like there in Detroit, in New York, with Frankie and Todd Terry and Master at Work. So it was like those three places where all that existed in America.
Yeah.
To us.
Yeah.
And then we all just kind of did our own thing.
It's still kind of that way.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, sorry to fly over states, but, you know, they don't call you that, you know.
Yeah, I think that's because it started there. That's all.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And you started going to New York in the 90s, yeah?
Yeah, because it was like those three things. It was like Chicago, Detroit, and New York. So basically I had to pick which one that I liked the most.
Yeah.
And I love the sound from New York out of any of us. Even I like New York more than Detroit.
There was something.
It was
about
more
that,
soulful.
That disco background.
Yeah, it was like Detroit was really techno, hard techno, but New York just had the groove, dude. It just had like the vibe.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
That was my vibe. So I moved to New York. I'm going.
How did the transition go for you to like start working in hip hop?
Being in New York.
Just because
it was in New York in the 90s. It's like everyone in the world knows New York hip hop. 90s is New York, and I was there, so I seen it all from everyone.
So wait, okay, no, all right. How many times are you gonna roll a 7? Okay, you're hanging out in Detroit, and it's like that whole Kevin Saunderson, Juan Atkins crew.
Yeah.
Then you go to New York, and it's just like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna do hip hop now.
Yeah.
What was the intro there?
Even in Detroit, I was still producing house music and hip hop on the side, just hip hop for fun. So when I was in New York, I'm like, when I wasn't making a house track, I was making a hip hop track. And then at a certain point, I started working with Quincy Jones, and then that's when.
I mean, goddamn, 7.
Got it. Yes.
Yeah. That's bananas.
Yeah.
Oh, and I it's fitting since we're in Miami.
Yeah.
When was the last time you talked to Pitbull?
Maybe a year or two ago.
Is he still working with Mr. Purple?
Purple. I don't think so, dude.
Really?
I don't think so.
I'm going to tell you a story off camera because I don't.
Yeah, I know you probably don't want to say it.
I can't say it on camera because I want to live. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I got something. I got something to talk to you about that.
All right, yeah.
So this literally like almost like a third act.
Yeah.
Going on for you. You came back. I read somewhere that it was like Lee Foss had a lot of.
Yeah, like, Lee Foss and Jamie Jones and Pitbull. It was that same year. I was working with Pitbull because he sampled my remix of Nightcrawlers for Hotel Room, and we got in touch, and he liked my music, and I started producing for him. And during the same time, Lee Foss and Jamie Jones were having a hot nature party in Miami during this time, maybe 5 years ago. And they asked me to DJ. I wasn't DJing then, but I was like, all right, I'll do it.
You were just a straight
producer. But I mean, I've always had decks and always, DJ like just for fun, but not to like really do it. But I knew I wanted to do house music more than any kind of music. And that was it. I'm like, all right, this is my end. I'm just going to do it.
What was because I mean, I'm assuming you had decks, so obviously you were playing vinyl back in the day.
I wasn't playing vinyl. I had decks at home, but I would never want to play vinyl out because then you have to carry 10 crates with you.
Yeah, everybody remembers those. And in New York, I mean, come on, what are you gonna do?
And plus back then, if you're not making like a couple grand a show, you're making like a couple hundred. It's like, it's not really worth it.
And you said you were in Bed-Stuy. No, you're not going to get a cab to pick you up in Bed-Stuy. You got 4 crates of records.
Getting paid $200.
Yeah, you're going to have to drag it to the train.
Yeah,
ugh, in the rain, in the snow.
Yeah.
Screw that.
It just wasn't my thing. And I had a full studio back then, so I was always producing. And that was my thing. I just wanted to stay home and make music.
Yeah.
I would literally play vinyl. And I'm like, all right, this sounds dope, but I want to make that, not play it. And that's always what it turned into every single time.
Do you find that you have enough time now to produce, because you're DJing a lot now?
Yeah. I mean, I think now between me and my management, we take like months off, starting in December, which worked this year really well. I do a couple shows, New Year's or certain shows, but
they're not trying to ship you off to Asia or Australia.
No, they tried to. They tried to ship me to Asia.
Yeah,
literally, and I said no.
It's big over there right now.
I know, but I need time off.
Yeah, well, because I mean, the 17 is incredible. First of all,
no, thank you. Thanks.
It's so good, and it has that, just like what you're saying about New York.
Yeah,
I keep saying, like with electronic music, I was like, the guys that write songs.
Yeah, it's like you hear it, you're like, and I'm not saying it because of my song. You hear it, you're like, I like this. This is all right.
And
that's all it is.
It's
like
a song. It's got the structure and the form of a song. And I mean, house music in the history of music is still relatively a new form.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, a good song.
Yeah, it's a good
timeless.
Song. I say that to many writers because I'll have writers come in the studio and I'll play a track, and they talk about like going out and drinking. I'm like, no, dude, just don't worry about trying to make a party track. Just write a good song. You write a good song, then it's done. We're good.
Well, the more you focus on what's hot right now, the more dated it's going to sound 5 years from now.
And I say that a million times. I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So they're giving you a little bit of time off. You're trying to schedule because you've got an LP planned, right?
I have an album, yeah.
And I know that's the one I almost didn't want to ask.
No, you can ask. I mean, it's pretty much done. I think I have my next single. I'm gonna finish it next week. Then by the time it rolls out, we should be mixing the album. So hopefully the album should be out this summer.
I mean, are you the kind of the producer that can literally just tweak a song forever? How do you know when it's done? That always
you hear it.
You just hear it.
It's like 17 last year. It was written in 2014.
Wow, really?
Yeah, but I was going through songs and I listened to it again. I'm like, this is it. Cool.
Do you ever use other people as a sounding board?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, you have to. I think every producer should. You don't want to get too hung up on yourself. You think like I'm dope. You need to hear what's going on.
Well, and sometimes if you don't get out of your own headspace.
Yeah.
Because I know like things that I've worked on, literally there's something that's not there. There's not. Then somebody else hears it. Like, no, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. Pull back.
Well, that one it gets to the point where it's more about the mix down. Of like, is a kick loud enough? Is the EQ right? That's those are my demons. But the song point, once I know it's there, it's there.
Yeah. So are you hooked on DJing now?
No.
No?
I'm still a producer to the end of the day.
It's almost, it used to be back in the day, like,
producers would go out to DJ so people could hear their tracks. You know,
is that what it was?
Promote your tracks. I feel like you would go out, play what you were doing to try and get your music out there.
I mean, that's what I do now, but I don't know. Was that done 10 years?
I feel like now people put
ago?
music out to get gigs.
Well, they do, 100%.
You know, and
100%.
I feel like back then it was like, I made this song, now I got to get this song out there. And now it's so easy.
Well,
with
the thing is, like in the 90s, it wasn't, because if you made a record, you had to get a test pressing. You can make a record, it takes 4 months for you to even play it.
Yeah.
So it's not the same. Today you can make a record. I can make a record right now and play it tonight. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's the difference.
Yeah. Well, it's a huge difference.
It's a huge difference.
And we were talking before we started actually filming about the long sets.
Yeah,
Do you ever get a good long set?
It's weird because, like, I have like this thing, like an hour is too short. 90 minutes is just right. 2 hours is perfect. Once I get to 3 hours, it's like, I'm like, oh, I'm getting bored a little bit.
I don't know how some of those guys do it.
Yeah. I think because I produce a lot, so a lot of times I'll play most of my records within 2 hours. Mm-hmm. So after 2 hours, I don't really play too much of my own stuff. So I'm just playing other people's records, which kind of isn't my thing so much. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of like, all right.
All right, well, notice the talent buyers, 90-minute sets from here on out.
I don't mind playing longer. I'm just saying, like, for me, what works for me is like 90 to 2 hours.
That's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
I feel it, man.
Sweet spot.
I feel
Unless I'm just vibing out, having a house party and just like doing it.
And you seem like you've got a whole new generation of guys that you're working with. I saw you've got was Will Clark and Solardo.
Will Clark, Solardo,
Boys right now.
Camel Fat,
Camel Fat,
Camel Fat. Working with Jax Jones a lot. He's a great producer.
Nice.
He's a great producer.
Who should we keep an eye out for? Is there any?
Casey Lights. Casey Lights.
Yeah.
That's my young homie, but he's dope.
Yeah.
He's so dope. Yeah.
You heard it.
Yeah, he's dope.
MK approved.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, stamp.
So good to meet you, brother.
Nice
Thank you for doing this, man.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Cheers.